Shalom Ezra. Froze. Ah, there we go.
Good afternoon, Rabbi.
Evan Ezra.
Well, I had to get Baruch Hashem, have more people over, Baruch Hashem. So I have to get a large my sukkah.
Oh.
Just trying to figure out how to do it. It's just a different, I'm pretty like making from two sukkahs into one.
Right.
So it's a little bit of, Baruch Hashem, it's a little bit of a challenge. Oh.
Back.
How's Rabbi Leaf doing? Is there we have an update on? Hello? What's going on? Hello?
Yeah, hi. Is the Rebbe on?
Yeah, I think we're...
Come. We just have to. This is so it's Sukkah's time. We're preparing the Sukkah at home, so I got somebody to running errands for me. Okay. We'll be back.
Sweet.
So we were learning Tavrei Zion. We were learning Tavrei Zion in the Mishnah Berurah Seder Mincha, the Arab Yom Kippur. And so we learned the Mechaber and the Ramah. I wanted to try and maybe take something from the Because he doesn't say it, at least not openly over here, but he hints to it, and it rang a tremendous reverberation in my brain because he says it not here, but he says it by Hilchos Pesach. He says Hilchos Pesach when we talk about Bedikas Chametz. Obviously, besides the obvious, they're looking for the chametz that's in the substance of chametz in our house. Really, he says b'dikas chametz is all about how a person should be mefashrish b'maisav. A person should look inside and see where the chametz is inside. He says you got to get rid of the chametz, right? You got to get rid of the chametz. You have to move out of the chametz. That's what the Gemara says. So the yeast that you put into me, the yetzer hara that you put into me, that's stopping me from serving Hashem. So we therefore understand that when it came to Hilchos Pesach, that he goes through in fairly great length in various different levels of Kabbalah Pakach Poltoi, that the way that you absorb chametz, that's where you have to get rid of the chametz, you have to kash kelim by getting rid of it the same way they absorbed it. He says all of that is a marshal for how a person needs to do tshuva for different averos. That the way that we did it avera, that if we did it with passion, then we have to do tshuva with passion. We did it cold. If we did an avera that it just sort of slid by us, so then it's a cold avera. So then we wash it off with cold. We do a cold tshuva. He says, so therefore the tshuva that we do on Erev Yom Kippur, really prepare ourselves like Erev Pesach. So that when we come into Yom Kippur, we're like we walk into Pesach. We can say, I got rid of the chametz. All I need from now is for you to be merchamim for any residue that was left that I could not see. So in essence, by doing vidoy on Yom Kippur, we're doing what we call bittul on chametz. We're saying with our words, any of the connection that I had to the averos that I did the whole year. Hey, right? Right? That's part of the Kol Nidre is that we do the Baruch Shalom Amavatal. Any one of the Nadarim, any one of the things with which has left a Roshim of Averis inside of me, I'm being Mavatal it. But that means I had to get rid of the chametz before Yom Kippur. I had to get rid of the Averis, the substance of the Averis. I had to get rid of it before Yom Kippur. So he says, so the time to do that is by Mincha, before the Suda Mafsekes, because the Suda Mafsekes is to prepare us so that we should be able to have the time, it should be strong enough to bring us to a higher level of Shuvah. And since we're looking at the Gzardin, so the Gemara says, Shem Yechonik, maybe the person will choke on the food, won't be able to do Shuvah. It's sort of like saying, if I wait too long, Erev Pesach, and I'm not getting rid of the chametz before Sheish Shos in the day. So what happens later on in the day, there's only one thing I can do with that type of chametz is burn it, because it's already not in my reshus. That becomes Zman Isur chametz. It's no longer my reshus. So therefore, I have to burn the chametz. I can't only be mevatel. I can only mevatel the chametz before Sheish Shos b'yom. So it's at least mincha. When we come to Mincha, we want to be Mabatal, we want to get rid of any of the chametz, any of the averos, any of the substance of the averos that was in our hearts. And then we can come down, then we can already get a step into the Suda Mafsekes because we're already cleansed from the, quote, the chametz, the effect of the averos, the substance of averos, so that we will be able to start the tshuva at the Suda with great strength. The two different Halacha says you should have two su'udas. One su'udah before Mincha, one su'udah after Mincha. Su'udah Mafsekes after Mincha. The su'udah before Mincha is really around Chatzos. That's really the Zman in which we can su'udah and be mizvada on the averos when they're still hot, when still troubling. The slichus that in for Erev Kippur, Yerotza Tzei Mamcha, besides that we said it in the morning, we say that at the Suda, we say Slichas at the first Suda. And I understand, I never thought about it other than it's a very Kippur. Really, that the first Suda is right around Chatzos, maybe a little bit before we start, like 12 o'clock, until 1 o'clock. I thought of it, then it just occurred to me that's really at the Zman with which we still own our chametz on Erev Pesach. And therefore, the first Suda is a Zman when we still have ownership of the Beres for which we can do tshuva for. And therefore, saying Slichas at that time makes sense. It never occurred to me until this moment. Nevertheless, he goes into saying, he says, that's one of the reasons why Averes for which we did tshuva for the last year, we stopped and we said we still Hashem last year. You don't have to repeat it, because if you were mevatel the chametz last year, if you were mevatel the Averes last year, you wanted to remember that I used to have chametz last year. I didn't think it's chametz. I got rid of the chametz last year, so this year I'm going to also get rid of the chametz. It's your also, but you don't have to. Because once we've already done tshuva for an aver in the past, we don't need to go back and take ownership of it anymore. We can let go of it. That's why we have to be mavad when we do vidui. We are mavad. You have to be standing when you do vidui. He says because we're really at that point. At that point, on Erev Pesach, on Erev Yom Kippur, and on Yom Kippur, when we do say vidui, it's really an expression of I'm ready to let go of all of the things that have kept me moving. That's one of the reasons that Chazal tells us that we dance Shemona Esrei standing straight. One reason is because, like the Malachim it says a regular leg, you show they have only one straight leg. So Malachim can only go up and down. They don't go forwards, back. They only go up and down. And that's why we say Kodesh, Kodesh, we jump up and down, because like in the Malachim, we're similar to the Malachim. But the other reason why we say Shemona Esrei standing up, because when we're standing up, Sagidim are all lined up from head to toe in total synchronization. We're standing up straight. Everything from the tip of our toe to the tip of our toes to the top of our head is ready to serve Hashem. Hashem tells us that we are able to move, we'd be able to move. And we stand before Hashem be'ema. Whenever we stand Shemona Esrei, so that we should show that we are ready to turn over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It happens to be that this was one of the interesting arguments that I used to use, and I used to debate with the Jewish Buddhists in Colorado. And they, of course, they all talk about the loftiness of doing meditation. And I would tell them, yes, sir, how do you do your meditation? I said, do your meditation sitting down. And so Barry Kaplan, in his Jewish meditation, says the reason why they do meditation sitting down is because they can't connect the top of their awareness to the bottom of their awareness. They're not able to control, even though they reach a lofty meditation, it remains, say, intellectual. It remains a lofty meditative state in one's mind. However, to change one's own midas all the way down to below the waist, if you're doing it with meditation sitting down, you can't do that. He says that's what Chazal told us to do, Shemona Esrei standing straight up, because when we're standing straight up, we are ready to give over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu every part of ourselves, our heart, mind, our hearts, and our base desires are all capable. We're able to turn all of them over to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's one of the cheshbonos for the brachos of Shemona Esrei during the week. That we're able to go through all the different pieces of our world and our lives, our difficulties. And so, Baruch Shalom, Yisrael, Mishpat, all of the brachos, Samach David, right? Bnei Yerushalayim, all of them is to tell us that we are ready, we're capable. This is the purpose of Shemona Esrei, is that we want to say to meditate, to align all of our thoughts and our emotions and our and our sensations to be able to serve Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the right way. So these are some of the things that I gleaned from the Tov Berekes, which sort of, so once he triggered the thoughts of the comparison between Bir Chometz and Tshuva and Vidui, that there is a tremendous amount of great insight that we can get if we only think about all the steps that we took to prepare for Pesach. And that's a personal process. No, I can't. I need to get rid of my own chametz. I need to get rid of my own averos. I can't do somebody else's. I can only do my own. So therefore, even the shliach tzibur only says vidui quietly when he's daven Shemona Esrei. It's not a vidui for the tzibur. It's a very personal one, and that's with the cheshbon of malchus. It's a very personal process of ready to say. So malchus is not sitting down. It's not standing up straight. It's leaning over, leaning on something, so that we machnia ourselves like they did malchus in the base of it in the Zman Abayis. We machnia ourselves. We humble ourselves. 13 words in the pasuk and 3 times gives us 39 lambates malchus. Right? We turn everything over to Kadosh Baruch Hu. And we say that our vida will wipe away any of the difficulties that get in the way of our being able to see the Ratzon Hashem. So these are some of the thoughts that that came to me as I was preparing for this Daf Tafrei Zion. And the basic concept of Kabbalah Kach Baltai, Tshuva takes us into the process of, as we absorb these averos, that's the way we let go of these averos, and that's the tshuva, and ultimately, Kol Nidrei gets rid of even ever the words and thoughts that came with them. Tomorrow we'll be able to learn a little bit more, we'll get into more depth into the and Be'ez Hashem, be ready for Shabbos Shuvah. Everybody have a wonderful day, and Be'ez Hashem, we will learn tomorrow, then hopefully tomorrow night we'll have our preparation for Yom Kippur as part of the Chumash at night. Again, we'll probably, since there's no longer a Daf Yomi in the evening, we can start earlier. One of the reasons why we used to start later was because we had to wait for the Daf Yomi to finish. We no longer have to wait for the Daf Yomi to finish, even though we should need to have a Daf Yomi here. But that's, we have a little bit more flexibility. We can start a little bit earlier. All right, everybody, have a wonderful day.
Rabbi, is any update on Rabbi Leaf?
All I heard is that he tested positive, but that he was still feeling good. Being tested positive doesn't mean he's going to go down and get sick at this moment. Should be protected. All of us, we should be zeichet to Shnas Baruch Yeshua Refuas Yeshuas.
Amen.
Amen. Have a great day, Rebbe.
Good day, Rebbe.
A great day, Rebbe.
Take care, couple.
Thanks so much, Rebbe.
See, we get them to post this year. Okay.